inspirational speaker. I think about being perfect all the time. Not that I have a condition or an obsession or anything like that. I didn't come out of the womb being overly concerned with being perfect. But come on, we live in LA. Of course you're going to think about being perfect. I've lived here for almost 10, 11 years. I think about being perfect almost every day. All right, I should probably qualify that. Not my being perfect, but everyone else's seemingly endless quest for that state of flawlessness. And it makes me wonder, what does perfect really mean anyway? And is it truly attainable? Is perfect a fact, or is it an opinion? If you actually get to that state of perfection, can you stay there, or is it some ethereal state that you have to keep questing after? If life is a process, does that mean perfection is a process? What do you think about when you hear that word? Do you use it yourself? Do you strive for it yourself? For those of you who don't know what I do, I'm a fitness and lifestyle coach, and I have a corporate wellness company. And I see some sort of example of trying to be perfect in my work and in my life just about every day. And it's not always in the way that you might think. I have a client who's in the fashion industry. And I get it. People in the fashion industry want to look like they've just come from a war zone and haven't eaten in a month and a half. But this woman is not exactly 25 years old anymore. She's actually a bit older than I am, although she would never admit it, because it's LA and no one's over 40 here, myself included. I train her 3 times a week. 2 out of those 3 times, she will say something to me like, oh, I should probably describe her first. She's 5'2" and weighs about 104 pounds. She's like this big. She makes me look husky. Again, I train her 3 times a week. 2 out of those 3 times, she will say something to me like, Rona, I gotta lose 3 pounds. If I lose 3 pounds, I'm gonna be perfect. Really. At which time, I give her my standard answer. Gina, not her real name, how are those 3 pounds going to make a difference in your life? You're already an incredibly famous fashion designer. You have a handsome husband who is successful in his own right, and 8 years younger than you poor girl. Just saying. And you still look amazing in clothes. She then turns to me, shut up, Rona. She knows I'm right. But it's not just outward appearances. My ex-husband is a contemporary jazz recording artist. And he was and is fabulous at what he does, but he was obsessed with writing the perfect song. Let me change that. He was obsessed with writing the perfect piece of music. Evidently, and my friend Pal is in the music business, she can probably attest to this fact. If music has words, it's a song. If it doesn't, it's a piece. Right? There we go. With the man 11 years, that's all I learned. But he was great at what he does. He is great at what he does. But he was so obsessed that sometimes he couldn't get through a song, and a lot of times, a piece, whatever. A lot of times he would ask me to listen to 2 portions of the music that he was writing. Now please, don't ever ask me to sing. Oh, I can carry a tune, but yeah, if you want to clear the room, just ask me. However, I do happen to have a very good ear. So he would take me into the studio, sit right here, give me headphones, Russ, I don't hear a difference. What do you mean you don't hear a difference? I don't hear a difference. This one has an A at the break, and this one has a D. One note. One note. Russ, if I don't hear a difference and I'm listening for one, you think your fans are going to care or even hear anything? It didn't matter. He was fanatical about it. And a lot of times it took him forever to finish an album. Does anybody here know of any painters or sculptors or musicians who need something to be perfect, and they keep going back and they tweak it and tweak it and tweak it until it's perfect in their eyes, and sometimes they can't even see it? But here's the thing. Art is subjective. It's emotional. So how can it ever be perfect? Picture this. I haven't even told the story yet. I love it. Michelangelo, painting his idea of the Sistine Chapel. He thinks it's perfect. His benefactor comes in, the Pope, looks up. Yo, Ange, what's with the hands? Can you imagine? What would happen if someone came up to Russ and told him that they didn't like his music? Does that mean his songs, his pieces, whatever you call the music, isn't? Obviously, I'm not a musician. But does that mean it's not perfect? Does taste affect perfection? Let's talk about taste. Who doesn't like to talk about food? That's one of your favorites. Is there a perfect recipe for anything? If you ask a chef or an experienced cook, they will tell you that they have the perfect recipe for marinara sauce or red velvet cake, whatever it is. But I went to culinary school to learn how to re-engineer recipes to make them healthier. Well, does that make me the perfect chef? No. Does it make me the perfect eater? Heck no. If I'm going to get taken out to the new hot restaurant, oh honey, all bets are off. I'm getting the chef special and the tiramisu for dessert. Especially if someone else is paying. But I have a lot of friends who kind of don't want to go out with me to eat because they feel guilty if they get what they really want. They think I have the perfect diet because that's how I stay fit. A perfect diet according to whom? If you talk to any nutritionist or dietitian, I don't eat enough starchy carbs. I don't eat a lot of grains. I have some, but not a ton. However, if you speak to a trainer who is working with a client to help them lose weight, they'll probably have them on this kind of a diet because it works. So, who's right? Okay. Let's bring perfect back to right here and right now in Toastmasters. Raise your hand. Who doesn't want to give the perfect speech? Thank you. Who doesn't want to give the perfect speech? But what happens? We get nervous that we're going to stutter or use the wrong grammar. We don't make eye contact. We don't cover the stage. We're afraid we're going to make a mistake. We're afraid that because English is our second language, or by chance someone might have a regional accent, that it'll take away from your message. But what does all this do? It takes away from who we really are and the emotion of the message. Mechanics take away from feeling. My mentor at Toastmasters was a man named Robert McKenzie. And unfortunately, he passed about a year and a half ago. He was an unbelievable speaker and an even better listener who always gave me great advice. He actually came in second place in the World Championship of Public Speaking. That's a big deal. I used to tease him and say, Robert, I want to be you when I grow up. But that wasn't true. He was fabulous, and I learned things from him, but he wasn't the perfect speaker. Duh! There is no perfect speaker! How can there be when each one of us brings something unique and wonderful to the table? I love to watch speakers who are quiet and zen and elegant. If you haven't noticed, I'm more of a bull in a china shop. I'm right there in your face. But it works for me. It's kind of who I am. I can incorporate those things to help make my speech more compelling, but you gotta be who you are. No matter what example I have given you, whether it's physical, mental, musical, whatever, obsessing over inward or outward perfection takes you away from who you truly are, and that's when you're perfect. You've heard the expression, practice makes perfect? I think passion makes perfect. Passion for who you are, what your message is, and the gusto with which you follow your dreams. I think perfection is attained when you have true acceptance of yourself, both inside and out, because that's when you are the perfect you.